Have you ever thought about this? That money might be testing you, not just helping you, not just serving you, but quietly revealing something about you. Because most people think money is neutral, just a tool, just a resource. But what if it's more than that? What if every financial decision is a reflection of something deeper? Your priorities, your values, your heart. And what if money is not just something you use, but something that is being used to measure you? Welcome to Real Deep Understanding. Take a moment, slow down. This is not just about money. This is about eternity. Because there is a tension that most people never fully face. The tension between what is temporary and what is eternal. We live in a world that is obsessed with accumulation. More money, more possessions, more upgrades. Always more, but rarely does anyone stop and ask, how long does this actually last? Because everything you see around you will eventually pass. The house, the car, the clothes, the lifestyle, all temporary. And yet, we give our energy, our focus, our lives to things that do not last. Why? Because they feel real, they feel immediate, they give quick satisfaction. But the danger is subtle. Because when something feels important, it slowly becomes important. And when it becomes important, it begins to take priority. This is where the spiritual test begins. In Money, Possessions, and Eternity by Randy Alcorn, there is a powerful idea. Money is not just about spending or saving. It is about where your heart is anchored. Because what you do with money reveals what you truly value. Jesus said, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Not where your words are, not where your intentions are. Where your treasure is, your money, your resources, your giving, your spending. That is where your heart lives. So the question becomes, what is your money pointing toward? Is it pointing toward comfort, status, security in things that can disappear? Or is it pointing toward something greater, something eternal? Because here is the truth. Money amplifies direction. It does not create character. It reveals it. If your focus is temporary, money will deepen that focus. If your heart is grounded in purpose, money will strengthen that purpose. That is why money is a test, not of how much you have, but of how you think, how you choose, how you live. And here is where many people get trapped. They assume more money will solve their problems, but often it only magnifies them. Because if your mindset is unclear, more resources just increase the noise, more spending, more pressure, more attachment, and slowly, money stops being a tool. It becomes a master. That is why Scripture warns so strongly about materialism. Not because money is evil, but because attachment is dangerous. Because when your identity is tied to what you own, you begin to live in fear. Fear of losing, fear of not having enough, fear of falling behind. And fear is not freedom. True freedom comes from detachment, from understanding that everything you have is temporary and everything you do has eternal weight. That changes how you spend. That changes how you save. That changes how you give. Because now, you are no longer just managing money. You are investing in eternity. Think about that. Every decision is planting something, either in this world or beyond it. So when you spend, ask yourself, is this building something lasting or just feeding something temporary? When you earn, ask yourself, is this shaping who I am or just increasing what I have? When you give, ask yourself, am I holding tightly or releasing wisely? Because giving is one of the clearest signs that you understand the test. It shows that money does not control you. It shows that your trust is not in what you can hold, but in something greater. And that is rare, because the world teaches the opposite. Hold more, keep more, protect more. But biblical wisdom teaches release, trust, steward. And this is not easy, because it requires faith. It requires letting go in a world that tells you to grip tighter. But over time, this way of living produces something powerful: peace, clarity, freedom from comparison, freedom from endless desire, freedom from the pressure to keep up. Because when your focus is eternal, temporary things lose their control. They no longer define you. They no longer direct you. They simply serve you. And that is how money was meant to be used, not as a goal, but as a tool, not as an identity, but as a responsibility. So the real question is not, how much money do you have? The real question is, what is your money doing to you? Is it pulling you deeper into temporary living? Or is it guiding you toward something eternal? Because in the end, you will not take anything with you, but what you do with it will follow you. Take a moment and reflect on that. If this message spoke to you, like the video, subscribe to Real Deep Understanding, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because this is not just about finances. This is about truth. And once you begin to see money this way, you will never handle it the same again. Because money is not just a resource, it is a test. And how you respond to it is shaping your eternity.